Hi, welcome back to the Cuzzy Sound channel. Around about this time last year I was very much at the beginning of my journey into the crazy world of DIY synth building, but I had put together a few little boxes projects, most of which have been featured on this channel, and I wanted to put something together for a musician friend of mine as a gift, something a little bit unique. Now, not only is he into synths, but he's also into his sci-fi and fantasy as well, so I wanted to take that as a theme and put something together along those lines. The result was the Audio Generator Mark 1. Now, to go along with the Audio Generator Mark 1, I also put together a video, a little bit of a sci-fi, kind of old sci-fi theme if you like, to it, which explained what it did, what it was and how it was put together. And I also did some jam sessions so you could hear what it could potentially sound like. And I put those together onto a DVD and included the DVD in with the actual audio generator itself, and he was blown away by such a unique Christmas present. So what I thought was, 1 year down the line, we'll take a little trip back in time and have a look at how the Audio Generator Mark 1 was put together, and I will also be uploading a video of some of the jam sessions so you can hear what it sounded like. So yeah, who knows, you may be inspired to create your own sci-fi themed noise box. If so, go on, have a go, build your own. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Audio Generator Mark 1. This marvel of modern science produces sounds hitherto unheard of in the natural world. Allow me to demonstrate. So, let's take a look at what's going on under the hood of the Audio Generator Mark 1. Before we lift the lid, let's take a walk through what controls we have here on the front of the device. So we start with this section here. This is the oscillator section, which is essentially two square wave oscillators controlled by these dials here. This is the power on and off to the oscillator. Feeding into the oscillator section over here, we have an LFO, a low frequency oscillator, which will modulate the oscillations in the original oscillator. This control in this position produces a square wave, as we turn the control, it gradually converts that square wave into a triangle sawtooth type wave. This control controls the speed of the LFO, and again, power on off is through the switch here. These two controls on the bottom here control the amplification inside the unit. This is a tone control, which basically uses a passive low pass filter arrangement. So turned down, it will cut out some of the high frequencies. As we turn the tone control up, it will allow more and more of the high frequencies through. And this one here is a volume control on the input to the amplifier. In the center here we have a built-in speaker. Just leaves a couple more things to describe. This socket at the bottom here is an output socket which disconnects the amplifier and takes the feed from the oscillator and LFO via the volume control out to external amplification. These two connectors here allow for a control voltage input. So with the LFO turned off, we can inject a control voltage through these contacts which will control the basic oscillator. So for instance, if we had a step sequencer, we could feed the control voltage out of the step sequencer into the oscillator to create a stepped pattern of oscillations. So that's the basic controls on the unit as used by the user. Let's now lift the lid and have a look at what's going on inside. So here we have the actual workings of the audio generator Mark 1. You can see in the background here the power supply is a small 9-volt battery which powers the whole of the unit. These are the switches. On this side, this is the power for the main oscillator. This unit here is the main oscillator. It's actually based on the Atari Punk console design, which is simply two 555 timers with the first timer feeding into the second timer to alter the oscillations of two square waves. So you've got two square wave oscillators interacting. On this version, the two 555 counters are built into a single 556 chip. The oscillators are controlled by these two potentiometers. The output from the Punk console goes through the passive low-pass filter and into a small amplifier. This amplifier is a very simple design based around the LM386 chip. The output from the amplifier feeds to the speaker. As I said when we were looking at the external controls, this is the output to an external amplifier which bypasses the LM386 amplifier and takes the output straight from the volume control. Over here, this is the low frequency oscillator, and again a very simple design with the square to triangle wave output control and the speed control, and the output from this is fed into the control voltage input on one side of the 555 oscillator. Alternatively, these are the contacts for the external control voltage, which via this switch can also feed into the control voltage of the 555 oscillator. So basically it's a fairly simple three-stage design. 555, twin 555 oscillator, a simple square wave, triangle wave, low frequency oscillator, and a small amplifier to drive the internal speaker, all powered from a single 9-volt battery. That is how the audio generator Mark 1 creates the weird and wonderful sounds it does.